Hi, my name is Brad A. Strike, and this is my parent meeting video for William Woods EDU 503 Sports Law. Good evening, parents. My name is Brad A. Strike, and I'm the athletic director here at OHS. First, I'd like to thank everybody for coming and let you know kind of what this meeting is going to be about. Tonight's meeting, we are going to be covering the risk involved in participating in athletics and activities at the high school level. Before a student may participate in any athletic event here at OHS, they must receive a sports physical and fill out a sports physical form. When they fill out this form, they need to bring it to our athletic office where they will receive a blue card, which they will give that to their coach of whatever sports season they're playing in, and that will let the coach know that they have received a sports physical. It is imperative that they get a sports physical and fill out this form before their season starts, because they will not be allowed to participate until they have received this physical, filled out this form, and brought their blue card to their coach. Once your son or child is able to start participating in sports here at OHS, there are risks involved, injury risk involved in that participation. Here at OHS, we try our best to do everything in our power to help prevent these injuries, including inspections of our facilities. We go out and check every weekly to make sure our facilities are up to date and meeting the protocol. Along with our coaches are always watching their practice areas and their game areas to make sure that there are no risk there for injury, and if there are, they are to report that immediately. Along with this, we try to prepare our coaches the best that we can. Our coaches are CPR, first aid, and AED certified. Every coach on staff is certified in that. Along with every coach goes through a concussion protocol video review every season, so they know kind of the steps that should be taken in terms of concussions. Along with our coaches, us preparing our coaches, we also have a full-time athletic trainer on staff. Our athletic trainer is at every practice and at every home event here at OHS. They are also available before practice and before games. So in case a student needs, taped or something like that, they're available to get that done with our athletic trainer as well. Some of the risks that come along with participating in sports, are your normal bumps and bruises, scrapes. Sometimes you have sprained ankle, or pulled muscle, injuries like that. Our coaches, again, are first aid certified, as well as a trainer being on site to kind of take care of those minor injuries. Our trainer is also able to help those that have an injury that might have a little bit of rehab. Our trainer is able to go through the rehab process with them and make sure that they're on the right path to get back in a healthy state. And our trainer will make sure that they do not come back until they are ready, fully 100% healthy to come back. They will not be cleared, and our coaches know that they cannot put an athlete in until they get a clearance from either our athletic trainer, or if that athlete goes to their own physician, their own doctor, they will need a clearance from them before our coach will allow them to go back in and start practicing or playing. Some of the bigger risk, or one of the bigger ones that we're hearing about now, are concussions. Concussions can happen in any sport. Obviously, we hear about them now mostly in football, but they happen often in soccer, especially girls' soccer, basketball, wrestling, cheerleading, any contact sport. You have the risk of getting a concussion. It's imperative that if um, your son or daughter has a symptom of a concussion, sometimes those symptoms don't show up right away. They can show up a little bit later. It's imperative that if, say, after a game, your son or daughter gets home and they start showing symptoms, um, that they let either their coach, the nurse, or the trainer at our school know. It's imperative that they do not continue to participate if a concussion sign is showing. And you can find the signs and symptoms of a concussion on our OHS athletic website. The signs and symptoms are there. And again, all our coaches go through this training to know to look for the signs and symptoms. And our athletic trainer is there on site at all home games and practices. So our coaches know if they feel like a kid has, could possibly have a concussion, then they know to get a hold of the trainer so she can come down and check them out. Every student who is participating in a sport here at OHS must, before that season or that sport starts, must go through a concussion baseline testing with our athletic trainer. And this helps them determine, just in case that, some symptoms arise, it kind of helps, it's a baseline that kind of helps them compare, where they're at baseline compared to where they're at now when, we think concussion symptoms could be arising. It helps them determine what the concussion is. And again, there's a protocol that goes along with the steps to get back in from a concussion. And our coaches and athletic trainer work together to make sure that a student does not get put back in before those correct steps are taken. A few other things, a few other injury risks that might occur, especially in the early fall seasons when, in August and September when it's really hot outside, or the early or the late spring seasons when it's starting to get hot again, are heat-related illnesses. And again, our coaches at the beginning of the year go through another training that talks about heat-related illnesses. And we have a humidity and temperature gauge out on the field to test to make sure that the heat index is not above the limit for them to practice. If it goes above the limit, which is 106, then practices have to be canceled or held indoors. But when it is really hot outside, coaches know to make sure to take plenty of water breaks, shorten, high intensity drills, and, adjust equipment that the kids are wearing to take into account for the heat. For example, football pads, they probably will not be going full pads if it is extremely hot outside. So we take every precaution necessary and preparing and for those heat-related illnesses. We also encourage kids to drink plenty of fluids, and that goes for all season long. It's extremely important when it's hot, but dehydration can happen at any point if you're not getting the proper liquids in your body. So it's always important to make sure you're drinking plenty of fluids. And we encourage kids to carry around water bottles if they can during the school day to help get plenty of water in their system and in their bodies. While there are risks involved in participating in sports, the reward far outweighs the risk. And I want to thank all of you for supporting and encouraging your son or daughter to come out and play sports here at OHS. This concludes our meeting for this evening. I want to thank you all for coming and have a good night.